my name's Mandy and welcome to my YouTube channel Pickety Stitch Life is So Creative. Today you're getting a different view. You're getting the view from the other side of my craft room. I've given it a little bit of a spruce up so it's a better backdrop. So yeah, welcome. It's been a real busy week. In the middle of the week I wasn't too good. I had, I don't know whether it was the weather or what it was, but yeah, I had a really bad headache, so there was a couple of days I didn't get to craft, so yeah, a little bit behind on the projects, but I'm trying to catch up. So for those of you who are new to this podcast, this is a vlog all about my crafty endeavours involving fibres and threads. So it could be sewing, crochet, knitting. I usually like to have 10 projects in my rotation. And yeah, spend a little time each day working on them. So what I have done is I have time stamped the different projects so that you can jump to the crafts you like best. So for example, I'm going to start with sewing and I'll time stamp that. So if you're only interested in the sewing of clothing, then you can just jump right ahead to those sections. If you're interested in knitting, then I've put that section in and so on. So yeah, today I've got some sewing, cross stitch, crochet and knitting to show you. So any of those what you're interested in, just click on the little grey arrow down below and that will show you the timestamps and the different chapters that you can jump to if you so wish to do so. But I do hope that you watch and enjoy the whole vlog. So yes, today is Saturday the 31st of July 2021. I was hoping to go ahead yesterday and upload, but yeah, time just wasn't of the essence for me. So today I'm wearing my Freya top by Tilda and the Buttons. This is a pattern you can so this is a pattern that is in her stretch book. The Freya top has 3 different necklines, and I have talked about all my Freya tops before because I have got so many of them in my wardrobe. It's a staple for me. So this is the cowl net version, and I think I purchased this jersey from Colville Fabrics. So every Sunday, if you hop onto Facebook and pop in Colville Fabrics, they do a live auction. I think, oh now I don't know the time. I haven't been on for a while. I think it's about 5 o'clock. You'll have to check. But it's a gentleman called Mark Massey and he does this live auction. It's a long time since I've been on actually. But and sometimes he will just advertise on his Facebook some fabric that he has, and you can just do a screenshot and send him an invoice via PayPal. I think that's how it works. So you don't always have to go on the auction site. But yeah, brilliant. So the first thing I want to show you, I'll just grab the pattern, is I've made some trousers. Now I've made these before, so I'll bring it up a little bit close. That's the one I've made. It's a simplicity pattern and it's 1887. So yeah, I've done view A. It isn't elasticated. I haven't done the ones, you know, what with the elasticated bottoms. So yeah, I've made these before and yeah, they were quite comfortable. Now I have put on quite a bit of weight, the old lockdown weight, so I thought it might be prudent to make some trousers with an elasticated waist. Now the problem is when you've got an elasticated waist, it can add weight to you because it puffs out. It's like having a gathered skirt. It's a no-no. It puffs out. So I like these because at the front they've got they don't look so good because they need a good iron, but at the front it's a straight band, okay, and then the back is elasticated. So I particularly like the front, and I'll bring it up a little bit closer. What I like about the front is this pocket they have on. Although I'm not a pocket person, these lay flat against you. So, and like I say, the front band is straight. This is, oh, I need a thread cutting off there. This is interfaced, okay. So that goes flat against your stomach. So that way, yeah, it doesn't make you. So there's two pleats at the front, and then you've got like I say, this pocket detail. Yeah, I'm not going to pop them on now, but I will do in my future vlogs to show you. But I am making a, I've got a tack there, I am making a capsule wardrobe at the moment, but it's been so hot, the weather has, that I decided I needed something really cool to wear. So I've made these trousers. They're simple because there's no fly, there's no zips. They're just, yeah, you can make these in an evening. That's how easy they are to make. Now, this is a chambray, and I ordered this from Fabric Godmother, and I only had 2 yards. So there was a bit of clever play with the placement, and as you can see, my hem is very narrow because, you know, I have used all the fabric up, you know. So yeah, you have 2 channels. Okay, so what you do is when you sew this on, you sew a channel. So you just sew really a line across the back part of the trouser waist, and then you sew you thread through 2 pieces of elastic. So you've got that fail safe. There's 2 pieces. If one goes, you've got the other one to rely on, so they won't fall down. And then I always sew. Still got my tacks, and I've got, that's it. I always sew quite a few lines over the elastic to secure it. But yeah, it gives it a bit of a like a paper bag effect, doesn't it? But yeah, I'm quite pleased with these. I've overlocked all my seams to finish them. So yeah, they're okay. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. So I haven't worn them yet because we've had rain and everything. It's always the same. But I'm hopeful to make another pair in the navy blue twill. I showed you a couple of vlogs ago that I purchased from Stitchy Bee. But I'm toying with the idea of some trousers I've seen on Seamwork which have a side zipper, so I just have to see how. That's for next week. But yeah, pleased I got those finished and done. So the next article is, I've got to show you, is Simplicity 84. I always forget these numbers. 8454, is it? Yeah, Simplicity 8454. And I made the top view, which is view A, and it's got this beautiful flounce on it. I'll show you the line drawings so you can see it in more detail. So I bought this fabric quite a while ago from Holly's Haberdashery in Newcastle under Lyme. In fact, I think I bought this a good 5 years ago. And it's this lovely, it's like a crepe. And yeah, it is quite it's quite difficult to work with, crepe is, because it can slide around a bit. Now what happened with this one, I mean, I love this because it is a bit 70s. Just love anything with flounces, I do. I'm not a girly girl, but I do like flounces and lace, I do. And what happened is, at the time when I made this, I didn't have an overlocker. And I was a little bit lazy and I didn't finish my seams with a zigzag stitch or anything. And this, if I bring it up closer, you can see how it easily frays, should I say, easily frays. So what had happened is, over time, because it had frayed, holes appeared on the seams gave way, and you know, I just thought it was just a shame to just throw it away. So I got my overlocker up and running, because that's been on the blink a bit, only because I didn't understand the mechanics really behind threading the overlocker. But now I do, and I'll link in a fantastic video by this gentleman who shows you basically the threading of an overlocker and why sometimes overlockers don't work, which was invaluable. And I've managed to overlock the seams. Now this means that those where the seams are given way, the arm will now, the circumference of the sleeve will now be a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter. So yeah, it is going to be a bit of a tight squeeze on me. So what I'm going to have to do is, hopefully I am on a diet now, so hopefully in a few weeks time this will refit me again. But I love this, it's so nice to wear. So yeah, I'm gonna pop it on a dummy, and I'm gonna pop the trousers on a dummy and show you this. But this is a beautiful pattern, I really love it. I mean, those flounces are fab. Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, I've overlocked all my seams now, so feels so much better, because inside the blouse was such a mess in the end. It's a little keyhole fastening at the back, and yeah, it's a beautiful blouse. And there is quite a few different versions. You can do a short sleeve, you can pop a peplum on. I'd like to do that one where they pop the, you know, pop a pep. I'd like pop a it's like pick a penguin, that advert. I'd like to do view D at the bottom where you have a peplum, and you can still, even though it hasn't got the frill across the top, I'm sure you can still add a frill if you wanted to. So yeah, that was my simplicity top, and I thought it was just sat there in the mending pile, and I thought, you know, I do like to have a project rotation, that, you know, 10 projects in my rotation, but I thought once a month I'm going to just pull out something out of the archive, should I say, and yeah, get it completed. So there we go. So that's a top and trousers. So then I've got some crochet to show you, and this is the Christmas tree by Little Workroom Crafts, Davina from Little Workroom Crafts. This pattern is now available in her Etsy shop, or you can go on to Ravelry, and I have completed the majority now of my green triangles, so I just need, I think, to make one more, and then I can start the next part of the project. So I'm quite pleased that I'm getting on with that. because I have been working on some projects for Jolly July. I bought some more wool. That was my robin. I bought this from a garden centre the other day. It's just some dark brown acrylic for the trunk, and I already had this red one in my stash. So yeah, that's my crochet. Now knitting next. Now you may recall last vlog I'd started to knit a jumper for my grandson. It was the Happy Camper jumper by Jojo Tricot. My daughter had picked that out. The actual pattern was knit in an Aran weight wool, and it's, as you know, far too hot for that at this time of year in the UK. So I have chosen to knit it in a double knitting cotton. But I did purchase the pattern because I thought that was only fair, because that's where she had seen the idea for the jumper. And I'm using this Ann Bud book of sweaters. Now in the UK we tend to call them jumpers. Well, I do anyhow. I was always brought up calling them jumpers. So when you hear me use that term, that's what I mean. I don't call them sweaters, I do call them jumpers. So there's basically what you do is you get your wool, you knit a gauge, and you go by the number of stitches. And there's various patterns in this book, and you pick your gauge and you knit your jumper up. So there's a Raglan style jumper in this book, and that's what I'm doing. I've picked the Raglan pattern, and this is how far I've got now. So last time I vlogged it, I just started, I think, the second sleeve, and this is where I am now. So the two sleeves are now completed. I've made sure that I have calculated it so that the stripes all match up. This is a cotton double knitting wool. Oh no, sorry, I say double knitting, it's Aran. I do apologise, it's an Aran weight cotton wool by Paintbox Yarns. I'm knitting these. I think these are 5mm needles, Addy, which are my favourite. I knit the sleeves on DPNs, double pointed needles. So I've popped that stitch marker on there to show you. I think I'd only just started this sleeve on the last vlog, so I've completed the sleeve and I've now joined up. Now I have gone by the pattern in the book, what it's telling me how many inches this should be, but actually this looks like it's going to be a little bit short for him. I don't know whether he's a bit long in the body, you know. I didn't have an opportunity to take his measurements, which I should have done really. So what I'm going to do is knit up the yoke this week, hopefully, and get that completed. I'm going to try it on him, and then what I'm going to do is, if I do need to add some more to the length, I'll just unpick the rib, unravel that to there, and then knit down and add some more rib. Or if it's only a little bit to add on, I just might rejoin the stitches at the rib and add a bit more rib on. I don't know yet. It might be okay, hopefully. But yeah, quite pleased. The wool is a little bit splitty to knit with because it's a cotton. But if I bring it a bit closer, you can see that it's good stitch definition. I'm quite pleased with it. So yeah, that's my knitting. I've got some cross stitch to show you. So I'm working on the Kringles by Little House Needleworks. Okay, and I'm just on the section of the roof. So this is for one of the projects I started for Jolly July. Whoops. So this is the project bag. And I've got a little bit further. I've actually finished all the windows now. I've just got this little bit of roof to do, and it's completed. So I'll show you in a little bit more detail in a moment when I complete this vlog with a montage of the crafts I've done this week. I've also started this for my Jolly July as well. Now this was a pattern I purchased, it was only £3 in British money from a charity shop. Let me show you in more detail. And this is called Noel by Penelope. Yeah, it's a little kit and it's got anchor threads. So I thought I'd start that as well. And this is how far I have got. I must admit I've worked on this for more than a day. I've been stitching on this in the morning. So I'm quite pleased with that, how that's turning out. The thing is with this one as well, is that I don't know if you can see, but there's a lot of back stitching in this pattern. So, oops, let me put that there. So there's some like, can you see these like little ferns? Yeah. They're like the pine needles, aren't they? Well, those are all back stitches, and oh, I've only done a few back stitches because, to be honest, it was a bit of a, it was getting on my nerves a bit. So yeah, those there. So I thought what I'm going to do is complete the whole thing, and then I'm going to stitch in all those pine needles. I think that's the best way to go about this. So yeah, that's the way it should be. No, that way, sorry. Yeah, so there we go. So then my other Jolly July project is this sew along. It's by Molly and Mama, and it's a Christmas stocking sew along. So basically I've used some Tilda fabrics, and you make your hexagons and sew them together, and yeah. This is how far I've got so far. So I'll bring those up a little bit closer. There's some of these are from the Maple Farm range, and then the other one is, I think it's called Bon Voyage. Absolutely beautiful. And I purchased this Tilda fabric from Holly's Haberdashery. So that's how that's looking. I've just got to give them a good pressing and then quilt them to the batting and cut out the stocking shape. So let me see, this is the bottom of the stocking. Yeah. So some of that will obviously get trimmed off. And then I've got to make the stocking up, so I'm going to be working on that this week as well, because I want to get that one completed. So that leaves one more project to show you. Now you may recall I started to make a quilt for my granddaughters, my two youngest ones, Beatrix Potter inspired. So I've got some Beatrix Potter fabric, but there's going to be all sorts of different blocks that include embroidery. And I purchased this pattern from eBay, and I'll show you it. This is Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. This is the hedgehog that actually irons. So that's her job. I think she's the washerwoman. And I thought it'd be nice to have a block with Mrs. Tiggy Winkle on. So I've got some old linen, and I bought this special DMC, and it's like a, oh, I don't know if I've got it with me, but basically I bought some soluble. It's some DMC soluble, and it's got some little holes in it, and you put it over your fabric, and you use the little holes as your gauge for your crosses. So let me show you. So I've just pulled mainly threads from my stash for this. I'm not going to go out and buy new threads for this. And I've used some old linen to make this on. So this is Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. And I've just popped on the first few lines. My nose went sniffle, sniffle, snuffle. Now, a lot of people, when I've shown them this, say they can't make out Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. But if I show you the picture, again, okay, and if I turn it round and show you that, okay, so that is her there. So those are her eyes, and that's her nose here. Eyes and nose. See? It wasn't too clear before, but there we go. I hope you can make her out now. So yeah, and what I'm thinking of doing is just cutting this out, and this will be a block. And I'm going to keep this beautiful edging, which is part of this linen. And just sew it to the next block, but to keep the edging there. So there we go, Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. That's more or less a block completed. To get as well, my grandson, this shirt here, shirt A, which is a McCall's 6548. Now I made him two of these last year. Now I'm going to make him a bigger one this year. So I'm so glad that I used my pattern tracing wheel, because I'm thinking, gosh, did I cut it to size? And I won't be able to make him a bigger size, but I can. So that's what I'm going to do. And I bought this fabric, I showed you this quite a while ago, this beautiful ship fabric, and believe it or not, it's a Joanne fabric, and I bought it from Abercorns in the UK. I usually go to the States, and I always go into Joanne, so yeah, to see this in the UK just made me smile. Now, this reminds me of a type of Laura Ashley type fabric, so I was quite pleased to get this. Acquisitions wise, I've purchased two kits from the Historical Sampler Company, and these were from Deramore's website. They were in a sale. Yeah, this one shows you all the months of the year, and I'm thinking of starting that just after Christmas. So hopefully each month next year I'll have a square completed, so that will be a bit of fun. And my youngest daughter is in the process of purchasing a new house, and I know she likes this sort of colour palette, this greeny pink. So I saw this and I thought, that's lovely. I think I'll stitch that up for her new home. So hopefully next week I'll have some more sewing to show you to do with my capsule wardrobe, because I want to get on with that. Perhaps another block for my Beatrix Potter quilt, progress on my cross stitch, and a new knitting pattern perhaps. So until next week, happy crafting and see you soon. Bye.